Good morning. We are on our way to Riga, Latvia, and leaving villainous Lithuania behind us. We enjoyed our time here and can't wait to experience what Riga has to offer.
Now we're walking to our Airbnb. There's a lot of nice little canals here.
So we got checked into our Airbnb and now we are off to...
We got groceries.
We got groceries.
Free walking tour.
Now we're going free walking tour.
So my new favorite thing that we've had in both Lithuania and Latvia is that the drying racks for the dishes are right above the sink, hidden in a cupboard. So all you have to do is put it up here. There's a little rack so that the water doesn't go down. And then it's hidden away. It's the best thing ever.
Good afternoon. We are in our first full day in Riga. And this afternoon we have a food tour set up, so hopefully we'll be tasting some great Latvian food.
Pig's ear, smoked pig's ear. Tastes like a smoked meat.
Another.
This is Rumen chicken. It's the most famous chicken company in Latvia, and they smoke their chicken. First they put a marinade on it. That's really good. It's really, really good.
So we just got done with our food tour, and it was interesting trying all the various different Latvian things to try, whether it be smoked fish, chicken, smoked pig's ear, all sorts of very different things. The market in this area in Riga is all in old Zeppelin warehouses where they used to make those, but they got transferred here at some point to Riga after they were no longer being produced.
They do pig's head for Christmas. That's their typical meal. Pig is usually smoked. There's quite a bit of Russian influence and German influence here, and a lot of the Russian food has stayed a staple, so we can get a lot of different Russian cuisines here in the market. They do a lot of smoking. A lot of their food is smoked. We had, like Mike said, smoked fish and smoked pork. That's about it. But we learned a lot. We had a really great tour guide, and I think I have eaten more fish today than I've eaten in the last couple of years.
Yeah, I definitely suggest if you're in Riga, definitely try the food walking tour, because you'll definitely be exposed to some things you normally wouldn't, especially as an American.
After our salty food tour, she gave us some chocolates for the end, which is the typical Latvian chocolate. And Mike had his earlier, and it says like, it tastes kind of like Easter candy. So chocolate covered in marshmallow, which I love. It's the evening and we're going to attempt to go to the Riga Cathedral before it closes. Behind me is the Opera House. Tomorrow night I'm going to go see a ballet there, and a nice walk along the garden area, which I love about Europe. The cathedral was closed, so instead we're walking by the water, which is very nice on this day, if not a little windy. This is the Daugava River. This is why Riga is what it is. It was a very rich city because everything that came in from the land had to be sold here, and then they sold it off to the people taking it to the sea, out to the Baltics and Finland and Scandinavian, and the exact opposite. Finns and Scandinavians had to bring their stuff here, had to sell it here, and then they would in turn sell it to the people bringing it into the land. So this was a very rich area. So we're at Two More Beers. It's a restaurant here in the middle of Riga, and a couple of our British friends we met on the food tour recommended the place because we could get a flight of beer. So we'll be trying a bunch of Latvian beers tonight. All right, this is their own craft beer. That's got a good IPA to it.
Nope.
You want me to get your face? Or at least your fingers, there you go. Today in Riga, we're going to be doing an Art Nouveau tour. So Art Nouveau was very popular here in Riga because in the early 1910s, there was an economic boom, and so a lot of people were coming here and they had to build a lot of apartments for them to go to. And since the style was Art Nouveau at the time, a lot of the buildings are Art Nouveau. So we'll be able to see everything they've done here. And since the war didn't destroy a lot of Riga, they've all still lasted. All right, it's about 6:30 and at 7 o'clock there is a ballet here at the National Opera House, and I was lucky enough to get tickets, so I'm excited to go. We're at intermission and ballets are fun. It's kind of like Shakespeare where you have to read the synopsis before you go, otherwise you're gonna have no idea what's going on. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's a lot like a musical where they, instead of singing, they're dancing for quite a while, but this one is a little bit of a German background, so there's a lot of German dress, and I'm enjoying it. The ballet is over. It was very entertaining. I haven't been to a ballet as an adult, and so it was a great experience. At intermission, we all kind of played musical chairs because even though the ballet was completely sold out, only a fourth of the chairs were actually taken, so a lot of people moved around. And then halfway through the second act, they had to do a stage change, and it probably took them about 3 minutes to do the change. They closed the curtains and everything, and it just makes me think of the theater we saw in Český Krumlov in Czech Republic and how they could do the scene change in 10 seconds, whereas this took a lot longer. It makes you appreciate all the work that everyone puts into these kind of performances.
Good afternoon. Today we just kind of lazily made our way around the city. Made our way to Lodi's for lunch, kind of a Latvian buffet.
Latvian buffet is pretty good.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah.
And then made our way to Czar Nicholas's Park to listen to audio guide about kind of basically its construction over the last 300 years. How it kind of went from being in shambles to being now what it is. It's a really, really magnificent park.
Today we're in Sigulda, which is about an hour ride from Riga. It's an area on the Gauji Gorge and River, so it's very popular for hiking and boating and all sorts of adventure things. We'll just be hiking today. There's reddish sandstone, which makes some really big cliffs and caves. And then there's also castles you can visit and houses you can visit, and there's even a cable car across the gorge. So Latvia is 50% forest, and so Latvians themselves are very into nature. So this place is super popular on the weekends, especially in the fall. But it's Tuesday, so we should just be fine. So let's go explore. Are you ready for this, babe?
Let's do it.
Okay. That's a few stairs. All right, according to my handy dandy informational packet, this bridge was originally built in 1936. It was the first bridge built across the river, but in World War II it was destroyed. So this one was built in 1950. So here's the cable car going across the gorge. In the summer, they do bungee jumping off of it, but darn it, it's not summer, so I guess we can't do it.
As we're walking around on the path here, to help us save some money and also frustration on trying to find lunch, we brought our own bread and cheese and bought some meat real quick before we jumped onto the train. So now we're stopping to have some lunch.
Yummers. We're at Gutman's Cave. It's the largest cave in the Baltics. It is the oldest tourist object in Latvia. That's interesting. The inscriptions on the wall are from the 17th century, and this cave has been used for thousands of years as a place of worship. So up above here, there's one from 1836, 1889, 1980s, so there's all sorts of them. Sigulda Serpentine Road, which was built the first time in 1862 in anticipation of Czar Alexander II coming into town. In 2006, they added pavement, so now we have a beautiful road to be walking on to get all the way up the hill.
We have completed our walk for the day, and we ended up paying the 18 euros to take the cable car back over the gorge because we were exhausted, and also ended up getting a really awesome shot, so I'm happy about doing that.
Oh, that's okay. What'd you find though? I didn't order this.
A Claire, cappuccino, and your latte.
Thank you. All right, we're on our way back to Riga. Mike, what did you think of Sigulda? Thumbs up.
We just got out of our Airbnb last day here in Latvia, and just wanted to give our final thoughts on how we felt with our week here.
Generally, we really enjoyed Riga. There's an energetic feeling, there's a young feeling, there's a everybody wants to help you and be friendly feeling. So it's just kind of a refreshing atmosphere. We really enjoyed it. We had 3 different tours, and all of our guides were excellent. They're all from the area. They're all very proud of the area and just enjoy what they do. So we even had a small issue with our Airbnb, and the guy came to fix it within like 15 minutes, and it was 8 a.m. It was like, oh crap, he's here. Okay, great, thank you. It was really great. They're huge into nature here, and you can absolutely tell. There's parks everywhere.
So many parks.
So many parks. Way back when, their exports were beeswax, honey, amber, of course, and lumber. And so there's a lot of emphasis on keeping everything safe and protected, which we enjoyed. And in Sigulda, it was a lot of fun. You know, we had a beautiful, beautiful hiking experience there. Because this was originally a German town, and then of course Russia ruled over it for a long time, there's a lot of German and Russian influence. And in a quarter block, you can see a Russian bank, a German museum, and everything else is Latvian, a theater and cafes and stuff. So they haven't pushed that away. They've accepted that as a history and have kept it in here. So I really enjoyed that, and maybe it makes it more international. So then my bottoms, I guess, because it's a young town and it's a town known for its bachelor parties and partying, we definitely ran into young drunks being dumb. But I mean, that's anywhere that's a party area. So what are you gonna do there? And my biggest complaint about Latvia, and this is a huge issue, is there are absolutely no squirrels here. Like there's no squirrels. There's no red ones, there's no gray ones, and I didn't notice until we were in Sigulda. They're nowhere. Like, what's up with that? Other than that,
overall, we enjoyed our time in Riga, Latvia, and we're in here. It's October, and not a lot of tourists, which is really nice on top of the pandemic. And overall, though, I think that if it was even high time for tourism, I think it would have been very enjoyable as well. Overall, Riga definitely showed its best as far as what Latvia has to offer. So we're really happy to have come here.
Absolutely.